Assalamualaikum, selamat petang dan hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our fifth episode of Rambutan Duduk Rumah series. Apa khabar semua? So hari ini sudah masuk hari yang ke-65 kita dalam MCO dan juga hari ke-28 bulan Ramadan. Ramai yang sudah balik bekerja memandangkan sekarang ni pun kita dalam fasa kelima MCO kan, jalan raya di luar pun sudah kembali sibuk sikit. So harapnya walaupun kita masih dalam fasa MCO yang bersyarat PKPB, SOP kita masih juga jaga. So petang ini saya seperti biasa ditemani oleh dua tetamu khas yang kita jemput untuk bersembang santai lah orang bilang. Dan kali ini kita akan bersembang pasal freelancing in IT as a career. So freelance sebagai satu kerjaya. So teruskan bersama kami sampai ke akhir sesi. Kalau ada soalan seperti biasa boleh tulis di ruangan komen. Kita sekarang bersiaran secara live dari Facebook dan juga Twitter. So insyaAllah kalau ada masa saya akan bacakan kamu punya soalan semua untuk kita punya tetamu jawab lah. So we have with us today Tun Amsyar and Haziq Hafizuddin, software engineers from. Hello, hi Tun and Haziq. Yeah, so Tun and Haziq actually are software engineers from one of the airlines in Malaysia. I won't say which one though. So yeah. Okay, so welcome, selamat datang dan thank you for accepting our invite. So before we start, kalau saya boleh baca sikit kamu punya profile lah. So Haziq is a UMS graduate in information technology in IT and has been working as a software engineer for 7 years now, since 2013, if I'm correct. Alright, cool.
Yep.
And Tun Amsyar, kita panggil Tun lah kan, graduated in electrical and electronics engineering from UTP. Yes, but he learned to code in 2016 and has been working as a software engineer ever since lah. Right, how are you guys? How's Al?
Yeah, I'm good so far.
Okay.
Yeah, are you guys still working from home? Looks like it lah.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, right?
Yeah, so yes, especially Tun lah. So that means macam because we actually had a chance to actually talk before the live started just now. So you guys told me just now yang your company actually bagi you guys to work from home until when? Until next year, is it?
Yeah, until end of this year, but depending on the situation as well.
Okay, that's good though. For Rambutan, we are all back at the office right now since we don't actually have many people. So yeah, it's like okay lah, good lah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about freelancing then. You've done freelancing before and also working as a software engineer full-time with other company at the same time. So Haziq, if you can share with me, how do you actually balance and manage your time?
Well, to be honest, you have to have motivation to self-motivate yourself to do the work itself. So you have to manage your time. Like, okay, after work, probably I want to spend 4 hours to focus on my freelance work rather than, hey, I'm just gonna jump like, okay, do whenever I want. Not like that. You actually have to have your own motivation to set a time limit. Okay, I have to done this within this time frame because you still have to meet the deadline by end of the day, right?
Yeah. So is it so how did you find actually balancing your time with your full-time job dengan freelance?
For me, alhamdulillah, okay so far. Because I had the balance. I got lucky that few of my freelance work, it's actually understandable. I mean, they understand that, okay, I'm working full-time and this is my part-time work. So if they have something urgent, they will ask me to set the time frame. When can I actually deliver this?
Okay.
So it is much more communication wise, you have to have a two-way. So that
So that means
actually boleh again boleh boleh communicate with the people that hire you as a freelance and also yourself, so you can give more productive, right?
That's true. So that means macam selain motivation, then I think you also have to be disciplined lah, sebab kan, kalau tiada disiplin, that means macam okay, nantilah. So it's because you said the clients also understand this is this is like a part-time work for you, right? And then you also still have to prioritize your full-time job. Jadinya if let's say you don't have any discipline, that means macam then nanti macam nantilah kan, so that kind of thing, right? So for Tun, do you actually handle short notices and urgent projects? Do you take short notice punya projects?
Yeah, I mean, from my experience, yes, I do take some short notices project, but mostly for me, in my own personal opinion and experience, it's just that for me, it's just to pass the time for me. I've got a lot of free time. Yeah, I mean, just to pass the time during the weekends mostly. Usually I do most of the work on the weekends for freelancing works on the weekends. Basically just to pass the time for me. And,
so
how do I handle it?
So that means if let's say Haziq said, okay, you need to be motivated dan juga have to be disciplined lah, right? So you need to balance the time you have with your full-time job dengan you punya freelance job. But because you said you said you have many free times kan during the weekend, so managing time is not a problem for you, is it?
Yeah, not so much. I give it for the whole week, I give it a 70-30 split. So 70% is my full-time job. 30% of the week would be for my freelancing work. So out of 7 days, 3 days I take it. 7 days? 7 days, 3 days I take it for my freelancing work. Averaging around 3 days. Yeah. Specifically, not to say that I take it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I would say Saturday, Sunday, and then a cumulative of 5 days, Monday to Friday as one day. Yeah, something like that.
So if let's say Saturday and Sunday pun you guys work juga, so okay, not coding for work, but like for other work kan. So when do you actually rest? I mean, dude, we spend so many times in front of the computers. When do you actually close the computer and then keluar jalan-jalan? I don't know, go see a movie or something. When do you have time to do that?
Okay, I'm going to repeat what I said to my previous manager before. He asked me, why are you working so hard? When do you actually rest? I said to him, I can rest when I'm dead.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Haziq, do you have anything to say?
To me, you should have a work-life balance.
I agree with you.
It's really important to have a work-life balance. It's for your mental health as well.
Yeah,
but I agree with you, yeah.
I mean, you can try it for a year.
Usually, for me, it's always like after work. That's the only time that I can go out, hang out with friends, or watching movies. Not so much because everything's already on Netflix already. So it's like it's on a screen already. So
yeah.
And I have a 29-inch monitor, so I can run 3 windows at a time. So it's like nice. Actually.
Wow. 39-inch. Wow. Okay. Like a full setup. Working from home lah ni kan. Alright. Okay. So that means for freelance, right? Okay, so I think this question is kind of interesting to me, like personally. So do you actually have to macam inform your employer that if you take side projects, are you actually allowed, since you are working for a company, kan? Are you actually allowed to take on outside projects?
It's actually a tricky question to answer.
Okay, so for those who are wondering, this is probably one of the reasons why they don't want me to mention where they're working right now, because kalau tidak nanti cancel, right? Okay, so what kind of projects do you usually get for freelance?
What kind of project?
Yeah, so
usually,
Haziq, yeah.
Haziq.
Usually I got to help website building for small startup or consultation. Usually do those two.
What kind of consultation do you do?
So consultation previously I don't want to mention the company name itself. Okay, try to keep it easy. They request me to actually teach a few programming language to their staff.
Oh, okay.
So it's like how and to up level their own stuff. So it was a 12-week course. So each and every week I will went to their office and also will actually help out some sort of teaching and also guide them like a basic learning of coding.
So if this is like an internal punya, you train their own staff lah. So is it a tech company or?
I know they're transforming to tech company. They have a sub tech company and they have their own parent company.
Oh wow, sounds complicated. All right, so that's what
it's actually a telecommunication company. So
you're getting that.
You're getting that, right? I can't go into that.
All right. Okay. Cool. Okay, that's fine. I understand. So what about you, Tun?
Usually the projects that I usually get will be just like full on web development from start to finish. Well, not to finish, but it's just the starting of the project itself. Let's say they need a checklist app or an inventory app. I would actually be the ones who actually build the initial databases and such. But I specifically request that I do not handle designing parts of it, saying I want the UI to look like this because my senior used to say to me that if they want you to design the UI, they should charge you differently for that.
Okay.
So and myself, I'm not that much of a creative type, so I tend to leave the designs to the designers per se. But apart from that, it's just maintenance work like upgrading works and test spec. Implementing test specs as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So maksudnya macam so for you, like, okay, from start to finish, meaning building an MVP lah, right? As well as maintenance work after, right? Okay, but how do they find you guys? Like, how did the client find you, ataupun you guys yang found the client somehow? Haziq probably can answer that.
So for me, right, it's more like networking. So if you join any meetups, right, you usually have like people and network with them and ask them what their specialty, what they're looking for. So probably you can offer your service to them as well. So that's how I do it, and also from friends, from other friends as well. Like it's usually network.
Usually network lah. So, but do you
Yeah.
actually have an account with the yang apa ni? I think websites like Upwork, I think, freelancer.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have those like Upworks, but freelancing I think I shut it down. And also I think LinkedIn was probably helpful as well to me.
For freelancing jobs, is it?
Yeah. I mean sometimes I got like a message that asking, hey, can you work on something?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. You just have to actually to put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there. Yeah. That's a good advice. Yes. So that means so it's easy to find work, especially in IT punya related projects lah, right, Tun?
Yeah, it's actually quite it's quite easy nowadays, especially with Facebook groups and community groups such and such. But for me, from my experience, it's always been my own personal experience and personal preference is always friend of a friend. Yeah, so say like Haziq's friend needs this, so Haziq comes to me and asks, "Can I help?" And then I'll do it. But yeah, more because of I trust Haziq, and then Haziq trusts that guy. Then okay, yeah, I'm not so big on. I'm not so friendly, lah. In other words, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I actually have something to say, but we'll go offline for that one. Right, for those yang baru join, so we are actually talking about freelancing in IT and making it as a career. Yes, you can, if you have any comments, you can just write your comments in our comment section, and we'll try sometimes actually read your comments and all that. Okay, kalau macam tu, so I don't know about your workload lah, since right now you guys are working from home and everything. So do you, for right now, are you actively looking for freelance projects, or are you like occupied with freelance projects right now, or just work, full-time work? Tun, maybe can share?
I'm currently not looking for any, and I'm not currently attached yet. But I'm more focused on the full-time work that I am now, because I actually just recently joined the company, so I need I would say most of my time to catch up with the current teams. I would say code base and workflows. So yeah, freelance is not so yet. And not until I've established my footing in the current company's dev work, basically.
Right. Haziq, are you actively looking for freelance jobs right now, or working on one?
I'm working on one currently. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. If you can share with us briefly, what is it about?
This like a. I think I can mention this. If you ever heard of batterycool.com.
Oh yeah, definitely. Batterycool.com is actually a company yang supply. If let's say you're okay, I think you better explain lah. Yeah.
Basically, it supply you door to door battery. Right, if your car broke down, it's because of battery. Yeah, Kong, right? Yeah, battery Kong. It's quite common. If your car battery the Kong, you can always call battery.
Yeah, so when I was in KL, I actually macam nampak diorang punya promotion, diorang punya banner lah. Banner, do you call it banner? Yang dekat tepi highway tu? Kan? Kalau call kan, dekat highway lah. Okay, call ni number ni, blah blah blah. That's the one.
Yeah, I see that every day when I go to work.
Oh wow. Alright, okay. Oh, so you are working with them lah right now. I mean, for your freelance.
Yeah, it's been a while really.
Oh, nice. So it's
Yeah,
an ongoing project, is it?
yeah, it's an ongoing project. I mean, it's actually it's a good project, and I really enjoy working with them.
Okay, so ini soalan yang genuine bukan untuk apalah. So basically basic.com supply car battery kalau dah kong tu, and then you just call them kan. So what's the tech for that one? I mean, is it a tech heavy punya website or punya app, or what kind of tech do they have? Because in terms of service, I know what they do, but like I don't quite understand the tech behind it.
The tech behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's used. Okay, in architecture level, I mean, they're using AWS. Their backend is actually Ruby on Rails. They have PHP as well, and their apps is using iOS and also Android, which is Swift and also Java, if I'm not mistaken. So that is mainly the stack that currently they are using.
Okay, so interesting. So it's just like okay lah. So it's macam dari luar kita nampak dia macam it's just like a normal company, but actually behind the scenes they have actually a lot going on, kan? Tentu.
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. So all right. So yes, my next question is that, so freelance for you guys is just a freelance, a part-time thing, like, okay, it's a one-time thing, right? But what are your opinions about making freelancing as a career? Maybe Tun can share first. What do you think? Is it possible? Is it nice? Is it a better career path? You know, what are the benefits, if there is any, that kind of stuff?
It's from what I see and from what my friends have been doing. I know one of my friends are actually just working as a freelancer throughout his career, I guess. Is that you don't, from what I've seen, is that you don't get as bored, you know, because you can jump. I mean, you're working on a contract for 3 months and then another project for 3 months, another project for 3 months. So basically, you're just like one-man army, I would say, in terms of one-man dev house, basically.
Yeah, sure.
That's one-man show. Like literally, it's just himself just doing it. So yeah, it's interesting in the sense that the one project can each project is unique. You know, the next project doesn't mean that it's not necessarily going to be the same as the previous one. But again, sometimes it does happen, in which case that, right, for the first quarter, I was doing an e-commerce shop for, say, fruits. Second quarter, I'm doing an e-commerce shop for clothes. But the basic idea is the same, e-commerce shop, right? So yeah, you can actually build your own career as a e-commerce expert, in which case you just build e-commerce from start to finish for a very short period of time, you know. But yes, I do think that it's a viable career choice. But it's just a matter of how long can you actually last psychologically, basically. Because I imagine at one point you will get bored of doing the same thing all over again. Yeah. That's my take on it.
Haziq, anything to add?
Not really. I mean,
yeah, okay, but then okay, that's assuming kalau macam you get every 3 months kan, you get a new project,
yeah,
right? Regardless of it's the same e-commerce, you know, regardless of that, it's the same project but from different clients. But what if kan macam okay, for the next 3 months I have this project, and then after that habis, then you know, if it's if this is your full-time career, like a full-time freelancing punya job, then that will be macam sedikit sedikit susah lah, right? So you have to constantly macam cari new project, kan?
I mean, like, let me say something like, okay, every person have actually their own choice, right? Like Tun, he like every 3 months. Some people like to look for long-term project. So if a long-term project, probably you can manage well, because you know that, okay, after I deliver this particular project, then I maintain this for probably particular months or years, right? So once that project stable enough, probably you can deliver to the project owner or to the company itself, then they can hire their own team, right? So there's always a pro and cons on that.
Okay. Right. So that means, yeah lah, betul juga lah. So if you work on a more like a longer project, then yes. If it's not, just 3 months is actually a short time. Kan, pejam celik 3 bulan sudah, okay, we're done with you, and then okay, no more extension, right? But if let's say like a long term project, that means macam the payment pun macam actually secure lah, kan? You actually have like a stable income, but you know you have income coming in every month. But if every 3 months macam you work on project based, susah juga. So if it's a one-man show, like Tun said, I think it's just a matter of bila penat, macam you have to work on the project, and then you also have to meet clients. So for me, I don't actually enjoy doing that. I don't know about you guys lah. I think Tun is the same with me, right? Like
Okay.
But I don't know. Haziq, what do you think?
I mean, you have a lot of technology to use. Why you guys go and meet client? You can always set up a call.
That's
No,
true.
I'm kidding.
Okay, so my experience lah, right? So
Okay.
these people these clients, right? They're looking for freelancers because they have this one idea. They want to do an MVP. So they cannot go to like a full stack agency where the pay is gonna be much higher. But for freelance, mungkin you guys will charge slightly lower, right?
Yeah.
And then these people, they're not macam not necessarily tech savvy, so that's why they go to these freelancers lah. So that's why when you especially for your first time meet and greet, people say kan, meet and greet with clients, they prefer to do based on my experience lah, they prefer to do like face to face. So you want to suggest, maybe right now we don't actually have a choice. We can say, hey, let's just Zoom lah, right? Zoom or Google Meet or whatever. But sebelum ni macam, okay, let's meet at Starbucks, things like that, have to discuss this with you, blah, 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 and such. So yeah, for me it's a hassle. I think Tun definitely will share my sentiment lah, right? But Haziq seems like a people person, so I don't know. Okay, so you mentioned earlier, okay, you prefer to actually get projects from your own network. But other than that, how do you actually, if you have any suggestions, how to actually put yourself out there untuk macam, so that people will find you easily? What do I need? So if let's say I wanna start my own freelancing career, what do I need to do?
Freelancing career. So to me, I mean, like, if you want to start your own freelancing career, right, you always have to have a plan first, right? Yeah. How to put yourself out there. I mean, build up your LinkedIn profile, build up your Upwork profile, build up your own website. I mean, probably showcase what kind of project previously have you done. I mean, like, even if you do not have a client yet, you can always work on a hobby, like a short project that showcase what you can do and what you can provide to the client. That is usually is the important thing. Like, I want to look, like, are you capable to deliver this on time? Especially they want it something like, can you manage your time? That is the most important thing, right?
Sure. Right. So you were saying just now, just prepare your portfolio basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tun, you have anything to add maybe?
Yeah, I think I agree with Haziq in which case that you should have, depending on, I would say, depending on your projects that you've done, or you know, you should showcase to be able to showcase your portfolio. So let's say, for example, you have a miniature project, you should make it workable, which means that your potential client might be able to to access it, play around with it, however. And of course, you should have your main online CV. And I know that now that people would use either GitHub or WordPress, Squarespace, yeah, something like that, yeah. But it would be more, special if you actually made your own web CV, saying that this was made by me, saying that, oh, okay, and then the clients will actually see, oh, this guy did this all by himself. So yeah, why not take a shot or whatever?
That's good. Okay, so we will move on to the questions now. We actually have 2 questions. So first from Amirul, as a freelancer, how we want to determine the price of the project that we take. So if there's a price range for the type of project that we take as a freelancer. So I'm guessing macam, is there like a price range for a specific type, or for this project is this much, for that project is that much? I don't know. Maybe Haziq.
Okay. So to determine the price of the project is usually, I mean, everyone have a difficulty to actually give a price. Usually, to me, I would ask like, when do you want these particular things to be delivered? You have to break down the task. Then from there you can estimate. Usually, estimation is important. Like, what kind of project you want to do? For example, e-commerce. Okay, e-commerce. What kind of feature do you want inside the e-commerce? So you have to break down the task into smaller subtasks. Then from there, you want to estimate your time. How much time can you do this? So from there, you can actually come up with a figure. How much is this worth? This project cost? So don't overestimate it. Don't underestimate it, because eventually it will hit you back. So you have to have a plan. Hopefully, plan out like how to do this particular thing.
Interesting. So if let's say that means, so for example, okay, inventory apps for a certain company. So how do you actually break it down? If you can share in briefly, and then
So
after you break it down, what do you do next?
okay, so break it down. For example, I mean, in IT, we always know that we have a Scrum, right? Methodology and everything. You can always write a story of it. So write a story. First thing, write a story. Then second thing, you break down, like, I give you an example. Allow user to log in. So you are allowing user to log in, right? So what kind of things that need to be done when login? You need to insert a username or email. Do it require a password or OTP? Those kind of things usually come from a requirement from the client. So we need to ask the client, what does the client want? Not what we think it's right sometimes. We think this is right, but somehow client doesn't want this. Client want different thing, right?
Yeah.
We always have an argument to that. So always have to keep track on that. Okay, let's say client want email and password so that user can sign in. So those things, you can put it as a subtask. So how much time can you actually, how much effort can you put it in, right? How much time can you do this, right? With the design, or it's just a functionality? So is it with the test? So you have to put some time. Probably, okay, I can work on sign-in feature for, let's say, for 4 or 2 hours, right? So from there, you can charge how much you are charging, based on your rate. So it's usually, it's up to you. That's how I usually plan out so that I can have more advantage towards my time.
But then how do you actually make sure that you don't underestimate the
So
project?
how you don't want to underestimate it, right? To me,
Yeah.
you always take a look at it. Usually like right now it's easy to build a website. You always have a plugin. You always have like a library to do it, right? So you can estimate from there. So if this plugin help you can cut short 2 hours of your time to reduce it to 10 minutes. You can tell that to the client. Okay, we can use this particular library and do this. So always communicate with the client so that you don't underestimate it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good advice. I hope that answers your question, Amirul. So next question is from Charleston. So I think this one is for Tun. As a freelancer, do you often do your job alone and not with team? Yeah. What do you think, Tun?
Yeah. Usually I would do it. Not with. I won't do it alone. I would do it with a team, either a team of their own company or a buddy of mine as well. But yeah, there were times I was doing it alone. But actually, I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. But there were times that I think that that I would think that it would be best that I would do the project alone. Not to say that greedy or I don't want to share the profit with my friend or whatever, but it's just that I think I would move faster if I did it alone, and the client wants it on within 2 months already. It's already online, so minus the hassle, I can just do it alone within 1 month basically. Sometimes depends.
Okay. It depends
But
on the
yeah,
project also, right?
it's always dependent on the project itself. If it's too big, if it's too big that one person can't handle, then probably get in somebody else to join as well, and split the profit.
Split profit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I hope that answers Charlton's question. And then one last question from Danny. Right. So, hi there, Tun and Haziq. Hello. A few questions for you too. So, first question, have any of you ever gotten clients from outside of Malaysia? If yes, what are some challenges that freelancers should be aware of when dealing with overseas clients? And second question is, how is it different from dealing with local clients? Two questions there. So, yeah, Haziq and Tun. Yeah, you guys can. Up to you, man. Who wants to answer this?
Overseas client, I haven't gotten any yet, but I did. Previously I have few friends that gotten overseas client. Usually the challenges is time zone difference. You have to set up based on their time. So meetings or requirements or usually requirement engineering, right? You have to actually set up with them so they can actually test and everything. And different from local client, I think most client have, to me, have a different perspective, have a different requirement. Every single project is a bit different sometimes on the requirement. So can't really say that overseas client are also dealing with local client.
Okay. Tun, you have anything to add?
Yeah, yeah, the biggest difference is always the time zone. Like one of my friend who's actually working for Canada, for a Canada company. Yeah, so basically he works at night Malaysian time. He sleeps all day Malaysian time. And then always, that's his schedule. That's the risk that's the, I wouldn't say risk, I would say the sacrifice that he had to make in order to make a lot of money. Um,
A lot of money, yeah.
but yeah, because of course, the I would say the pros of having an overseas company, overseas client, is the exchange rate. You know, because they were paying him in dollars, but at a lower rate than their usual developer price. In the end, he still wins because of the exchange rate. The currency is higher. He still makes a lot more. So yeah, but the sacrifice that he had to make was give up his night sleep for day sleep. Um, from what I've known about him, working with overseas clients, they're actually quite yeah. But this is just a specific case for him. It's quite okay. I mean, no issues with payments, no like backdoor requirements or whatever. You know, it's much more straightforward dealing with an overseas client,
Straightforward.
compared to local client. Sometimes, say sometimes, not all.
Okay.
Some, from my experience, is that some local clients would like to lowball you. They ask you for the moon for the price of a coin. You know, sometimes, like I said, not all clients are that way.
Not all clients do that, yes.
Yeah, but I guess that's always the I would say, I mean, that's business, I guess. If you go anywhere else, there'll be somebody you do does the same thing anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. Okay. So we don't actually have a lot of time left. So my final question is, what are your advice to those who want to kickstart their career as a freelancer, like a full-time freelancer? What are your advice? Maybe two, and then we go to Haziq.
My advice is, you have to keep yourself motivated, and never stop learning. You always have to catch up with the current skills, and always be on top of the current technology stack. I mean, not necessarily having to have multiple programming languages under your belt, but that's a plus. But you can always be an expert on Ruby itself, and make sure that you're always up to date with the latest Ruby updates, and be able to use them very, very efficiently, very efficiently. Always be hungry with getting new knowledge, new skills, and I guess it's not been said enough that you should actually practice, even if you don't have a freelancing job yet, right? You're looking, but never be idle. I would say always be doing something, to sharpen your skill. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a very good advice. Thanks, Tun. And Haziq, anything you want to add to?
Just to add, I mean, always have a plan. Always have a plan on what you're going to do. I mean, like to say, and also to say that have a skill, specialize a skill as well. For example, if you want to do Node.js, you want to focus really on Node.js, focus on it, and probably some extra thing, probably Ruby or probably some other programming language. Go ahead, and also keep your network wide so that you can always have much more. I mean, much more things to do in the coming. And I think, and also be prepared for the worst thing. Always have a backup plan.
Always have a backup plan. All right. Okay, that's a very good advice. Yes. So yeah, we already passed our time. Anyway, so yeah, sebelum kita, thank you again, Haziq dengan Tun, for spending your evening with us. Sebelum kita menutup tirai, saya ada dua pesanan penaja. So yang pertama, minggu depan, 28 hari bulan, 28 Mei, we have a fireside chat with Edham Arif. the president of Kinabalu Coders. So we're going to talk about the STEM education, especially in Sabah, and then a little bit about robotic, IoT, and juga program-program yang Kinabalu Coders akan sediakan untuk sepanjang tahun 2020 ni lah. Kan ada lagi berbaki 6 bulan. So yeah, we want to know what kind of programs they have in mind. Yang kedua, jangan lupa layari kami punya website rambutan.academy dan dapatkan senarai resources percuma untuk belajar coding seperti yang kami sudah janjikan 2 minggu lepas. Right. Itu saja daripada penaja. If Tun, Haziq, if you have kata-kata akhir.
To me, keep on learning.
Keep on learning. Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yes. Tun.
I would say just keep on learning. I would say just follow your passion. You know, if it's follow your passion. If it's truly your calling to do something, go ahead and do it. Don't stop.
Yeah. Good advice from Tun dengan Haziq. So akhir kata daripada saya mewakili tim Rambutan ingin mengucapkan Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, maaf zahir dan batin. So walaupun raya tahun ni sedikit berlainan, tapi saya harap kita akan terus mematuhi SOP yang telah ditetapkan. Menjaga diri, terus kekalkan penjarakan sosial dan basuh tangan sekerap yang mungkin. Saya Faizra, ini Tun dan Haziq, Rambutan Live. Kita jumpa minggu depan. Bye.
Bye.